There now. Mark, I was in central London today and I was in awe at the logistics that must have had to be managed and thought through, because every inch of what I saw seemed to have taken place seamlessly.
Yeah, I mean, there was real potential, of course, with so many people in central London for something to go wrong. But I've been speaking to Scotland Yard this evening. It seems that everything has gone without a hitch or anything of any significance anyway. So they will be breathing a huge sigh of relief, even though this event has been so long in the planning. It is just such a mammoth effort in terms of the resources that it requires here in central London. Barely a single police force in the whole of the country. There are 43 police forces in England and Wales alone. Barely a single one of those police forces were not involved in some way in sending officers to London to help out with this. Some 10,000 officers, we believe, on duty today for the funeral, which is the biggest single operation they have ever mounted. And it's unlikely that they'll ever mount as big an operation again. That's how, fundamentally important today was to get right, and they did. But around about 9:15 this morning, we got the first indication, really, that lots of people had come as expected to the capital when the Mayor of London sent out a message to say that all public viewing areas were now full. And as I say, that was 9:15 this morning that message was coming out. So everybody crowded in. They saw, hopefully most of them, what they came to see, which was that funeral procession with Her Majesty's coffin on the gun carriage. The route from Westminster Hall to Westminster Abbey was clearly quite short, but the route that took them after the funeral service through Whitehall and across Horse Guards, down the Mall and up Constitution Hill to Wellington Arch, and then of course onto the State hearse up to Windsor, gave opportunity then for many thousands of people to pay their respects. And it was an incredibly humbling sight when we saw the processions coming through here. We had those mounted police officers from Canada at the front with the Metropolitan Police officers, and then row after row of Air Force personnel, Army personnel, and also Royal Naval officers, but not just from this country, from all of the realms that the Queen was head of state of, and many of the Commonwealth countries as well. It gave an indication, Michelle, of just what a global sovereign the Queen was, not just the ruler of the United Kingdom, the head of state of this nation, but 14 other nations and head of the Commonwealth as well.
And just tell me briefly, Mark, what's the situation at Buckingham Palace now? Are there still people around, or have many people now gone back home?
Well, everybody here, broadcasting-wise, is still here. In the US, of course, they'll be broadcasting for their evening shows, and all our colleagues from New Zealand and Australia, they'll be preparing in a few hours' time for their breakfast shows. So they're all still here, but the infrastructure is being taken down slowly but surely. We're seeing the lorries coming in to take away some of the estimated 500 portaloos that have been scattered around various areas of central London to help the public caught short. And there's still quite a lot of people coming down here, actually, behind us to Buckingham Palace. They're being funnelled to one side of the Mall and heading down past the palace, not to the front of the palace, but to the side of the palace, heading down towards Birdcage Walk, that sort of area. But yes, still hundreds of people here.
OK, I'll leave it at that for now. Mark White there, live from Buckingham Palace.